The Pittsburgh Steelers find themselves at a critical juncture. A point where the decisions made in the coming weeks could define the trajectory of their franchise for years to come. This latest article throws a stark light on the potential pitfalls of their current quarterback strategy. And it's worth truly unpacking the complexities of this situation. Let's start by venturing into the minds of Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson. What could be driving their potential interest in the Minnesota Vikings? For Rodgers, perhaps it's the allure of joining a team with a talented young receiving core in Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, and an offensive-minded head coach in Kevin O'Connell. Maybe he sees Minnesota as a better fit for his style of play or a team closer to Super Bowl contention in the NFC. The possibility of retirement if he doesn't land in his preferred destination suggests a level of control he wants to maintain over his final playing years. He's no longer just chasing a Super Bowl. He's likely looking for the right environment to maximize his enjoyment and success in what could be his final act. For Russell Wilson, the appeal of Minnesota could be the opportunity to be a clear-cut starter on a team with offensive weapons and a need for a veteran presence. After a challenging stint in Denver, a fresh start with the Vikings could be exactly what he needs to reignite his career. Perhaps he sees a better fit with their offensive scheme or believes he can thrive under their coaching staff. The fact that both Rodgers and Wilson might be eyeing the same destination further complicates matters for the Steelers, potentially leaving them empty-handed. Now, let's delve deeper into the criticism of Mike Tomlin's handling of Justin Fields. The article suggests a potential misjudgment in prioritizing loyalty to Wilson over giving Fields more opportunities. In today's NFL, with the increasing emphasis on mobile quarterbacks and dynamic offenses, Fields' skill set could have been a valuable asset for the Steelers. The fact that many within the organization reportedly favored giving him another chance suggests a potential disconnect between the coaching staff's evaluation and the internal sentiment. This situation raises questions about Tomlin's flexibility and his willingness to embrace different quarterback styles, especially as the league continues to evolve. If the Steelers indeed find themselves without Rodgers and Wilson, their Plan D options become incredibly important. Who else could they realistically pursue? The free agent market might offer some veteran options, but likely none with the upside or proven track record of Rodgers or Wilson. Could they explore a trade for a quarterback on another team? That would likely require significant draft capital and could still come with its own set of risks. The Steelers' front office would need to be creative and proactive in identifying and pursuing alternative solutions if their primary targets don't pan out. The potential long-term implications of quarterback instability for the Steelers franchise are significant. A prolonged period without a reliable, high-caliber quarterback can hinder a team's ability to compete for championships and can impact fan engagement and team morale. The Steelers have a proud history of quarterback stability. From Terry Bradshaw to Ben Roethlisberger, the current uncertainty represents a departure from that tradition and underscores the importance of finding a long-term solution under center. If the Steelers turn to the draft, they will face the challenge of evaluating young talent and projecting their potential success in the NFL. The draft is always a gamble, and finding a franchise quarterback often requires patience and a bit of luck. The Steelers would need to carefully consider the different quarterback prospects available, their skill sets, and how they might fit into the team's offensive plans. They would also need to weigh the pros and cons of drafting a quarterback versus acquiring a more established veteran. The contractual landscape for quarterbacks in the NFL is also a key factor in this equation. Both Rodgers and Wilson are likely seeking significant contracts, and the Steelers would need to carefully consider the financial implications of such a commitment. How would a large quarterback contract impact their ability to build around that player and maintain a competitive roster? These are crucial financial considerations that the Steelers' front office will need to weigh. The potential arrival of a big-name veteran quarterback like Rodgers or Wilson could also have an impact on the Steelers' locker room dynamics. While these players bring talent and experience, their presence could also alter the existing team chemistry and leadership structure. The Steelers would need to ensure that any quarterback they bring in is not only a good fit on the field but also a positive influence in the locker room. Looking back at the Steelers' history, their sustained success has often been built on the foundation of strong quarterback play. The current uncertainty at this crucial position represents a significant challenge for the franchise and highlights the importance of finding a quarterback who can lead them back to Super Bowl contention. Ultimately, the Steelers' quarterback situation is a complex web of possibilities and potential pitfalls. Cam Hayward's frustration reflects the urgency and importance of finding a solution. Whether that solution involves Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, a different veteran, or a rookie from the draft, the decisions made in the coming weeks will have a lasting impact on the Pittsburgh Steelers. What are your final predictions for the Steelers' quarterback situation? What is the most crucial factor they need to consider when making their decision? And what is your biggest fear for the Steelers' 2025 season? Let's have a final, in-depth discussion in the comments below. And don't forget to check out all our other sports coverage across the NFL, MLB, NBA, college football, and college basketball. What's up, Steelers faithful? We've been talking a lot about the quarterback situation in Pittsburgh, and this article paints a pretty concerning picture for the upcoming 2025 season. It sounds like the team's hopes might be hanging on by a thread thanks to the Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson sagas. The article doesn't hold back, suggesting that the 2025 season has disaster written all over it for the Steelers. One of the main points of contention is the handling of Justin Fields. The author believes that Mike Tomlin pushed Fields away to the Jets, partly due to loyalty to Russell Wilson. But the real worry seems to stem from the Steelers' apparent reliance on Aaron Rodgers making a decision. The article suggests that the holdup in Rodgers' decision might be his preference to play for the Minnesota Vikings. And if he's not able to land in Minnesota, there's even a possibility he could retire, leaving the Steelers high and dry. Now, you'd think that if the Rodgers plan falls through, the Steelers could still land Russell Wilson, right? Well, according to this article, even that might not be a sure thing. There's a real concern that Wilson could end up signing with the Vikings, a playoff-caliber team that's also in need of a veteran quarterback. If both Rodgers and Wilson end up elsewhere, the article paints a bleak picture for the Steelers' offense, potentially being led by Skylar Thompson and Mason Rudolph. The author even suggests that this hypothetical offense wouldn't be as good as the Steelers' 2023 offense. Ouch. The article is pretty critical of the Steelers' front office, suggesting that they might have shown their hand too early in the offseason and don't have a solid backup plan if the Rodgers situation doesn't pan out. The author even goes as far as to say that 2025 could be the worst year of the Mike Tomlin era in Pittsburgh and possibly his last season as the head coach. That's some pretty strong stuff. It definitely raises a lot of concerns about the Steelers' quarterback situation heading into the 2025 season. What do you think, Steelers Nation? Is the situation really this dire? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.